Hello, Aniin. I'm Shaun Green, and I'm honored to share some of my thoughts with you today. I actually wish I was there in person so I could joke around with everyone, and especially with one of my old colleagues, Dennis Boulanger. I still remember when Dennis welcomed me to the Barons River Student Services team my first day working as post-secondary counselor. I came in early, all bright and bushy-tailed, with my best outfit, my new shoes, tear, my hair looking all nice. I said hi to everyone, got into office, and got right down to work. I went up to have a washroom break a few minutes in, came back later, and there was a sign on my office saying Detective Shaun Green. And that was the beginning of the joking with Dennis. I had a really fun time working there. I thank you again for asking me to share some thoughts and ideas with you guys. I'll give a little background about myself, and then I've got some things I'll share. But so a little bit about me for those of you who don't know me. If you do know me, uh, that's awesome. If not, I'm a member of Barons River First Nation. I'm a former sponsored student. I graduated in 2002 from the University of North Dakota with a bachelor's degree in business administration. I've lived up north when I was really young, and then we moved kind of across Manitoba and Ontario for a little bit, and settled back in Manitoba. I worked for government. I've worked for the private sector, and in 2005, I had the opportunity to become the post-secondary education counselor for Barons River First Nation, working out of the Winnipeg sub office. Now my family and I live in Alberta. I've started my own business development service. I trade in real estate, and I've worked with a number of First Nations in Alberta in the areas of capacity development. A lot of fun stuff, and then I still try and make it back to travel days every February, almost every February, to see everyone and play in the hockey tournament. So I'd like to thank Jurgen Valket for inviting me to speak today. And again, sorry, I wish I could be there, but the schedule didn't work out. And here's what today I'm going to share 3 pro-life tips for you all to use. Point number 1. Education opens our understanding of the world around us. We need to be open to learning new things each and every day. And listen. That's probably one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. Ask lots of questions and really listen. One quote I wanted to share is the famous Greek philosopher Socrates said there's only one good, that's knowledge, and there's only one evil, and that's ignorance. So basically he's saying when you understand the world around you, it helps you make more informed life decisions, helps you make better decisions. And when you don't understand things or the things around you, i.e. you're ignorant, then you're making decisions that aren't informed and they aren't based on fact or rationale. And so you aren't making the best decisions available. And don't ever think you're too old to learn something. I'm 38 and I keep going to all kinds of new learning sessions and asking people questions. I don't think I'll ever stop. Number 2, use your networks. Don't be shy. We're all here to help, and heck, a lot of us are probably even family. Experience can teach you things that an education part can't. So ask us questions and learn. Everything from how to find a job, how to start a business, where to open a bank account, what buying a house looks like, anything you can think of. Other people have experienced things and opened doors for you so that you don't have to. Let's make use of these connections, and we know that we're here for you. Another tip along this line is that explore the world around you, expand your networks, meet new people that have different beliefs and behaviors than you. Our cities and cultures and the world is becoming much more cosmopolitan, and people from all around the world are coming together. So we better learn how to live with each other, and you're most open and unbiased when you're young, so do it now. Pro-life tip number 3, the final point. Entrepreneurship is in our DNA. We are entrepreneurial people. Our ancestors solved problems, and that's exactly what entrepreneurs do. They solve problems. The first peoples of America, they took risks, invented tools, cultivated crops, shaped forest growth, moved the earth, literally, and they lived and moved along migratory routes, lived in large communities. All the while they were developing complex trading networks that stretched from the plains to the Atlantic and Pacific coasts and all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. So it's a much more rich history than I think a lot of textbooks have told us, and it's good to know that about our peoples. When my dad was young, he said when they were asked in the classroom, how many people in the classroom, how many kids are going to grow up and want to be an entrepreneur or own your own business? And he said probably half the class would do that. It was fishermen, hunters, trappers, people wanting to take over their parents' businesses. It was kind of the way of life back then. It was much more common. Now I did the same thing maybe 5 years ago in a class, and maybe 2 or 3 kids out of 30 raised their hands. A lot more people are looking to have a job, which there's nothing wrong with. And even if you have a job, you can still be entrepreneurial in the way you think and approach it. In regards to being entrepreneurial and starting a business, Chief Louis from Osoyoos First Nation is a sage in the First Nation economic development world. And one of the most famous things he says is, about getting a job and getting employment and hiring the right people and on basing everything on merit. He also says there's nothing wrong with making money. And that took me actually a long time to digest and really break down. I grew up and I had this belief that money was kind of the root of all evil. And I think there's a number of people that share that kind of belief that it's hard to have money and still stay pure or good and connected to people. But as I really started to understand money and I actually started to have some money of my own and understand business and real estate, I've come to the conclusion that there's an abundance of wealth that's out there to be had and to be shared amongst all the peoples. We're the ones who make the choices about how we behave and what we do with that. Just remember, be true to yourself, be honest and ethical and energetic about business in general, and always come from the position of trying to solve a problem. Your business or your service or your product should solve some sort of a problem in the world around you or in your community, and make sure you're giving back to your communities. That's what entrepreneurs do, and we need more of them. In summary, get educated, use your networks, and think and act like an entrepreneur. Take risks. What a time to be alive, right? We're at a really exciting point in history. Technology and culture integration is changing our world. Sure, lots of generations always believe that maybe this is the generation that was dealt the worst hand or is going through a lot of trials and tribulations, and maybe we've got terrible world leaders in power. The economy is possibly weak at times. Different things that are threatening society or in our own culture that we're going through with residential school healing. But you know what? Don't ever stop believing that now is the most exciting time to be alive in history. We can change so much, and you can do so much even as one person nowadays. Everyone has the opportunity to do amazing things and create a much more rich and diverse life for all of us. So, well, with that, that's a quick little speech. I really wish I was there. Hi to everyone. You're in good hands with Dennis, Jurgen, Wayne, Suzanne, and Pam. Miss y'all and everyone at Student Services. And if you ever want to use me as a resource, I'd be more than happy to help. Kichi miigwetch. Thank you very much.